Podcast City Network. You're listening to The Everett Lee Show.
Welcome to The Everett Lee Show. I'm The Everett Lee. I want to give a shout out to everyone who follows my social media and, of course, Podcast City Network, official host of The Everett Lee Show. On the program today, you can catch him on FGW Shockwave every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. I'm going to welcome to the program the Wrestling Savant, Mitch Magnus. How you doing there, Mitch?
I'm doing good. How are you, sir?
Hanging in there. Just a little rough day with my 3-year-old.
Oh, yeah. That's all the ham.
Yeah, she's a diva. She's a diva already, and she don't want to listen. So it's trying to get her to mind. She's already made up her mind about what she wants to do. And,
she'll be.
Yeah. It's her way to the highway, and and I say to my wife, I wonder where she gets it sometimes.
Right.
But I've been checking out FGW Shockwave here not every Wednesday night here, but I caught back up with it because there for a while with everything that's going on with the COVID-19 and everyone that's not able to attend live shows, and of course talent as yourselves not able to perform in front of in a ring in front of an audience. What have you been doing with your time away from the ring?
There's a Facebook group going on right now that's got good quality teachers in it. Been following it some and following it. They opened it up during all this basically to keep the mind fresh and keep everybody going. Open it to wrestlers, exclusively. So there's guys like Sin Bodie, Dr. Tom, Al Snow, Cody Hawk, who is the head trainer at FGW, and just different guys like that with a ton of knowledge and been spreading it out. And about the only thing you really can do at this moment is, keep your mind fresh and try and do what workouts you can at home. So, yeah, I hear you, man. I mean, you just try to keep your mind fresh and make sure that you keep everything going. And just, I know, like physically you can't get in the ring, but mentally, That's great, man. That's great. There's no other, exercise or anything you can do to get that ring wind other than being in that ring, but definitely staying in conditioning and everything helps, keeping your mind fresh, like I said. That's amazing. That's great. I like that. I definitely like that. Looking into what you've been doing or what you've done in wrestling. You've been around for quite a while in professional wrestling, about 17 years being a performer, and just looking at your line of work and stuff, I love it. I love what I see. I do. I love what I see. I love how you move in the ring and the opponents that I've watched you wrestle against in the ring there, which I have a couple matches I'll be going over with you here that I picked out from finding footage of your matches on YouTube there. But for you starting out as a wrestler, how did that all start out for you? When was your first exposure to wrestling? Well, growing up, as a kid, of course, everybody watches it on TV, becomes a big fan of it. And I had moved out at Trenton, Ohio at the time, right around the time I was 16, maybe 17 years old. And just so happened, out of kind of a chance luck, that my brother was listening to the radio and had heard Les Thatcher was on, I'm forgetting the show it was, Tracy something or Armstrong or something like that. Anyways, back in the day. So Les was on there talking. And he told me call in, try and talk to him. So I did, and actually got through. And he was telling me, he was running HWA at the time in Cincinnati, and they ran a like what they called a showcase every Tuesday night, and it would just basically be like for the guys that were training at the time to get out there and do a show in front of people. So naturally, me and my brother went down, and we were absolutely hooked. Like of I had been to an independent show before that, but just having that small atmosphere, that kind of like 25, 30 people there and guys you didn't know, and everything's just kind of fresh and new to you. And the independents are different than what you watch on TV anyway. So It was just like a totally different experience, and I was hooked in and just attended shows, always went there. They, like I said, they'd run Tuesday night. Then they would, this was a little bit before they got the contract, the WWE contract or WWF. And so they would run, like they would bring down Benoit, or they would bring in Malenko, or they had Booker T versus Bobby Eaton once when Booker T was WCW champion at like the Crown Vic or something, Casino. So it was cool just seeing those guys and that connection. And then, of course, the contract kind of came in, and that was just an experience. Like, I look back now and think it was absolutely incredible, just chance after another, that it was such a small arena there in Cincinnati, but as the time they got the contract, it went from like, you know, like I said, like maybe 25, 30 people to squeezing 100 people in this room, packed, standing room only, for guys like, you know, like Brock Lesnar and Mark Jindrak having a match, Sean O'Hara, just guys before they went up to WCW. So, and seeing these guys come through like on a small stage that are, you know, 6'6", 6'7", 350 pounds of muscles, it was crazy. It was absolutely insane. And then seeing, of course, them get called up to WWE and all that and making the sex, it was wild to be, you know, kind of at that time. But shortly, I want to say, there was, I think, still the contract. They were shortly getting out of it, but that's when I joined in July of 2002, right as soon as I graduated high school, right out of that. So I joined in the HWA and started training under Les, and mostly Cody Hawk, Matt Stryker at the time would run the classes, but Les would be there every now and then look in.
Oh, that's nice. I like that. That's amazing right there. And I've talked to a lot of FGW talent over the last couple weeks, and pretty much they've all trained with Cody Hawk, and they've shared their experiences training with Cody Hawk. What was your experience training with Cody Hawk? What was that like?
When I first got there, man, 18 years old, like, I was captivated. I was just blown away by it. I couldn't believe like what was going on. And then when I got in there, funny story, my first time in there, I had this like silver chain on I had gotten for my birthday, maybe 16, 17 years old. Anyways, I'm 18, I go in, and my first practice, I'm wearing it, and Les comes in and just goes off on me. Hey, who do you think you are? You don't have a gimmick. Take that chain off. And I'm just like wide-eyed. What I do? Oh my God! And he's, take that chain off. You ain't got a gimmick. Yeah, you know, blah, blah, blah. You don't even know how to bump. And I'm just like freaked out, but excited. And no lie, Cody's training. Like I said, he was pretty much head trainer at that time. I mean, Les kind of had the name on the building, and he would pop in every now and then and give you, you know, some advice, real good advice, you know. But, you know, Cody, cardio master, like he would put you through it, and they got the drills from Eddie, from Benoit. So we would start with 9 to 10, they would call them Guerrero rolls, you know, hands behind your knees, in front of your knees or your ankles, this, that, roll all day long until you were able to take bumps and stuff like that and start learning. But the guy is like, and I always tell people this, that I'm not just saying it because I know him or whatever, or train with him. I've seen other people train. I've been around other people's classes, and the guy like will make you ready more than any other person I've ever seen. And I've always told everybody, like, he's not going to give you 1,000 different moves to do, but you're going to go in, you're going to know how to take care of yourself, you're going to know how to take care of the other person. Like, all the absolute old school basics of professional wrestling makes you walk into a locker room and know you're going to be okay working with the absolute stranger, you know?
Right.
He has a great man. Like I said, he's learned Benoit, Malenko, Jamie Noble, and the Hugh Morris, guys that just on and on, D'Lo Brown, these guys all just gave him knowledge. And now you fast forward it through the years he's been on the road and the guys he's worked and things he's done, and it's just like, you know, try and sponge up as much as you can being around him. And, you know, you'll truly see, I mean, if you get in there and you're wanting, you know, how to do a shooting star press and these cool moves, and, you know, that's not the class for you, this is a class where like I said, you're going to learn the absolute old school basic fundamentals of taking care of yourself, taking care of opponents, making everything look good, strikes look good, selling, psychology, everything that goes along with it. That I have seen people come in tremendous shape, absolute wonderful shape, hitting the rolls, hitting this, but just could not understand the psychology part of it, the selling part of it. Then you got people that come in that have like MMA background, and I always tell them you're a little bit behind the curve because what we do is so much more different from what MMA does, and you're a storyteller basically, and that's the stuff where you come in MMA and your whole life you've trained to knock a guy out in 2 seconds, and that's not what we do here, because the fans don't pay us to see that, you know what I mean? They want 15-minute matches of storytelling, fights, everything that goes along with it, drama, everything else.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing right there. Because I talked to Jackson Breeze earlier this week, and he had an involvement there in HWA. Did you have any interaction with him when he was there?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like, when I was a fan, he was a referee at the time for HWA, okay. And you had Joe Copez, who referees for us right now at FGW. You had him. You had Jackson Breeze there. He was a ref. And I was trying to think, there was one more, but yeah, after signing up and going, Breeze was still there. So, I mean, I've known him since I was like, 16, probably 17. He would come out and chat with us too when we were standing out there for shows and stuff like that. So, but yeah, definitely after I started training, he was still around HWA. I think pretty much till it was sold off to Cody or right around that time. Oh,
okay. Yeah, he was telling me a little bit about HWA and his involvement with that, which I thought was great there. But wow, 16, being a fan, and then getting into it and training, and some of the footage I pulled up was from quite a different promotions, and you gave me some of the promotions that you can remember off the top of your head,
right.
Because you wrestled for quite a bit of promotions. But I did find a match from HWA that I want to go over with you. It's you, the Wrestling Savant, Mitch Magnus, versus the Madness Chris Hall, and this video had a lot of views on it. It had quite a bit of views. Yeah. And I like the name, The Madness, Chris Hall. I'm like, what's this about, man? So I clicked on it, and watching Chris in the ring, you in the ring, and I'm like, man, this guy is big. At first, I figured, I was like, okay, this may be a squash match. I don't know, because this guy's big. But as soon as the bell rang, you guys locked up, and he got you in the corner, man, and he just starts throwing you around like you're nothing, just tossing left and right. I'm like, wow. And he ends up coming off the ropes, and he's tossing you around. He takes a suplex to you. You do the smartest thing so far during the beginning of this match. You get out of the ring.
Exactly.
You roll out, and he comes after you, and you get back in the ring. As soon as he comes back in the ring, it's like you saw an opening, you capitalized on it, so you started stomping on him. You pulled him over, and you just stomping him. You're keeping him down. You're keeping this big guy down. And I'm like, okay, now this is going to be interesting, because you're going after the leg. I loved it. You were working after the leg there, and Chris tries to build some more, defense, but you keep working him in, and when he does, he gets you over in the corner there, and back into off the ropes, and then he tries to deliver a power bomb or pile driver, but or you do, because you're pretty much pacing the match here. I can't read my whole writing sometimes, but because I'm writing fast and trying to watch at the same time. But he flips you over, and so he takes control of the match there, and then he comes at you with a backdrop, And then you go after, you guys get in the middle there, and you're doing some jabs and exchange some clotheslines, and he takes a German suplex to you, man, and then that spine, and that spine buster, man, because once he gets that offense back, it was like German suplex, spine buster, and then he gets you in the corner. You come out of the corner, and then boom, double axe handle to the chest, and then he covers you. He wins. But what I like about this match is after the fact that he won, he's up on the turnbuckle, you come up and you give him 2 low blows. And then you get chased out of there by someone, and then you leave. But that I like that match because with Chris Hall being as big he is and stuff, and like I said, I figured this is going to be a squash match, but no, you came at him, man, and you controlled it there, and I liked when you saw the opening, you went after that leg, and you kept on him, and then...
Oh, yeah, got to take the big man down by the leg.
Exactly. That's what I loved about it, man. That's what I loved about it. You worked him there. And one of the things I've noticed with when you work in the ring is you pace yourself. When you get in there, you pretty much pace yourself. You don't rush into anything, not unless, like, for instance, the next match be discussing with Drew Skills there, but you pace yourself. You pace yourself in the ring, and I like that. I like that because you go in and you execute moves when needed, and if you need to pull something out big, you pull it out. I love that style. I love that style because it keeps me interested because what am I going to see next now? What am I going to see next? Because Mitch is in control. He's pacing the match now because he's going to do something, and I love that.
Yeah, definitely. That's what I mean by that old school training, that old school mindset. You know, you can go out and do, like everybody always says, you know, and by no means am I bashed or anything, because I think wrestling's open. Everybody enjoys everything, but when you can really get down to that, you know, slow pace, working, telling your story, you know, taking the leg out, you know, making people understand kind of what you're doing and how you're going about things, that is truly, I think, what makes things, you know, really special inside of a wrestler.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can tell you don't really do anything crazy in the ring like I see with talent, a lot of talent here and there and stuff. And so that years of training and how you just handle yourself in the ring, I love it. I definitely love that.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
You're welcome. Talking about Drew Skills, pretty much I saw some matches with you and Drew Skills, but
yeah,
I was looking for this match right here. Mitch Magnus versus Drew Skills for the FGW Championship. And the story behind this, from what I understand, because they didn't mention too much about it on Shockwave, because when I started watching Shockwave, you were already the champion. And they mentioned once or twice you beat Drew Skills. But the story leading up to this, you pretty much were chasing the FG title. You're going after Drew Skills, correct?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Pretty much going after him.
I had been, since basically FGW opened, I had been trying to go after the title. Tried to get it from Space Invader, Trice, a few different times. And then upon Brian Beach winning and retiring, then it became vacant into a like Battle Royal. So I'm thinking chances are good. All of a sudden, Drew sneaks it, and now this is my big problem. So I tried a few times against him, and no prevail, because Drew is very smart, and finally got the best of him in the end of it.
I know, that's I love that, because just watching this match here, I mean, after watching those other matches with him in it, and it's like you're coming so close to getting this, and you got it in this one, because at the beginning of this match, man, he's outside the ring there. You're like, I'm not playing, man. I'm going after him. So you go after him. You throw,
I had enough at that point.
yeah, you're like, I had enough. And as soon as you get him in there, man, you go after him and you throw him in the ring there, and you're just going after him, and he starts doing he goes dirty. He thumb to the eye there. He rolls out, and then you guys are brawling out there, and pretty much there for that first part, he throws anything at you. You're basically a step ahead of him because you've been in the ring enough times, and you're like, I'm not falling for it.
Right, exactly.
And
I knew him at that point.
Yeah, you pretty much did. He tried some stuff, and he tried to beg and with you, and you're like, no. It's like, I'm coming for that title, man. It's mine tonight. And he takes that enziguri to your head there, and then
yeah.
And then he pretty much takes control there. And every time you start building up, he comes back at you and he grounds you there, and then. He's just basically, it's like he's punishing you because he's had enough of you because you went after his title already quite a bit, and he's like, I've had enough of you. And so basically he gets you off the ropes there with the shoulder tackle, and it goes back and forth there with a press. We're just brawling back and forth there for a while, and you're pressing each other's thumbs in each other's eyes to one corner and back to the other. I'm like, God, man. I was thinking of Stan Hansen there for a minute. I'm like, I don't want to see an eyeball come out.
Yeah, definitely.
But the ref gets knocked out. He gets in the middle, and he gets knocked out, and it's like, oh, damn. And then Eric Fallon comes in, and he makes himself part of the match.
Yeah, definitely. He was sneaking around at the time.
Yeah, he comes in, makes himself part of the match there. And then out of nowhere, Cody Hawk shows up and goes after Drew. You're going after Eric, and then you guys switch off. You go back after Drew. They fall in the ring. They take off, and it's like, okay, all right. And then another ref comes in, and Drew, he basically, he does, lifts you up, and he does his move to you, but you kick out. And then he gets you back up to do it again, and no, I'm reading this wrong here. Drew knocks out the ref. The ref. He gets mad at that, and then you come back up and you hit him with this swinging neck breaker, and then you go for a shoulder takedown, and then he kicks out, but then you get him up. And you counter with like a side suplex, and then after you hit that side suplex, it was 1, 2, 3, and you won the match there.
Yeah.
You won the FGW Championship, man.
Definitely, yeah.
Now,
one of the maybe the biggest thing ever happened in my career, as far as how much work went into it, and just trying, and finally it paid off. So.
Yeah, that was amazing there. After all that time, and you paid your dues, and you beat Drew, and you won that title. And right then and there, just holding that title, what was the feeling like for you? Just winning that championship.
It was really kind of surreal because going into that night, a guy who I had known for a long time and helped me train. He was a luchador from Mexico, but came up here and wrestled with CWI, HWA, a lot of places Cody went, which was where I was, named Super Zeta. Mm-hmm. And he unfortunately passed away, so we were doing a tribute to him that night. And so with just everything going on motion-wise and, having him on my mind, and it just was like it couldn't have been a better night, and just more. It meant so much to me to be able to kind of, in a way, win it for him that night. On a night we were, just having a memorial for him, and just everything he had done. He had helped Cody train so many guys. He had helped me out so much, and so many guys even that you see at FGW, because he had came in FGW for a while. So he made a big impression on the locker room and a lot of the guys, and so. it was kind of, it was very heart-wrenching when we found out. And so just everything that night, though, and topping it off, it was pretty sweet.
Yeah. I had Shauna Reed on last week, and she told me the relationship she had with Zeta, and when she was in the tournament there and stuff, and he was something. I came upon a match with him, and I can't remember who it was though, but I'm gonna go back and look at that there, because just going through all the matches and all the stuff with just all the talent I've looked at over the last few weeks from FGW, you guys got a lot of footage and a lot of stuff on that you can watch for hours, which I think is great.
Definitely. We've got, I think we had up to about 15 shockwaves, and then we started our best of, due to the COVID here. So, but that was cool because we didn't start TV, probably till about 2 or 3 months ago. So we got a lot of footage over the year that we shot, that we can kind of release here, and that's what we've been doing, slowly through the weeks here. So people tuning in to Shockwave can see kind of what happened, before we actually started shooting for TV, and some of our old shows and big matches from those shows too. So it's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's amazing how much footage you have there. I remember when I was watching the best of Volume 1, that Battle Royal they never showed before, and you won that, and then that's when you went up against Space Invader there for the
the first time I tried. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I love that match. That was pretty cool, man. Because after the Battle Royal, you win, and it's like, you're getting your title shot now. I was like, the guy just went through a Battle Royal. Oh my god!
Yeah, earlier that night, because that was like our first FGW show. So the first match was actually me and Ryan Michaels, and we go out and blast each other for probably a good 10-15 minutes, and then I come back, do the rumble, and then straight into space. It was a long night. It was definitely a long night, but well worth it.
That's amazing. That's amazing right there. I've seen a lot of footage with Ryan Michaels. I've seen stuff with you and Ryan Michaels, with Shauna and Ryan Michaels, and just a lot of footage that I've seen, and just the footage I checked out on you there. There was one match that I was getting around to today to watch, was you and Mark Magnum, when I guess you wrestled for I think it was like CWI, I think it is.
Yeah, the CWAI, was a promotion here in Hamilton before FGW.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I seen that on there because it was in his on his YouTube channel there, and you were the champion there too.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
No, I wasn't. No, not at CWAI. I wasn't there. That was actually, he was the champion at CWAI. He was he actually won the belt right before it kind of closed or went out of business, whatever you want to call it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there's that match on there that I haven't got to check out yet, but I've come across a lot of footage with a lot of great talent here in the last few weeks from FGW, and I like the fact that pretty much all of you have pretty much worked with each other before in other promotions, and then there you are in FGW all working together, and just all the talent has said great things about the locker room, to training, to just working with Cody Hawk, and just what is the one thing that sticks out for you about you like about FGW?
Truthfully, the locker room, it is. And I know, like you said, a lot of guys came on here and said, about the locker room and all that and training. It is a very special place that we have going on here at FGW. And it like I said, it started probably right around the CWAI, like early 2016, let's say. And guys started coming in, training, sticking with it. And the guys that stuck with it is who you see now at FGW. And even a few guys that are on the shows now came in a little bit later. But all of us, and I pretty much am there every training with Cody, helping him along the way. So, just the talent we've helped develop, the talent that's been there, and that's there now. It's something special. It really is how close we all are, and how all, we can, how, like you say, we work together very well. We've all been together for a long time, and still there's so many people there that's just beginning this, and in 2 or 3 years, I believe truthfully huge stars and on the indie scene, if not moving on up.
Yeah. It's amazing with the talent that I've seen there. And just, I mentioned this the last few weeks here, that just production wise, you think when you first see it that FGW's been around for a while and have only been around for a year. That's
right. Yeah, a little over a year now. Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. That is with the production and how the show is put together and how it's presented, and just it reminds me of watching one of those cable access like wrestling shows, like Friday or Saturday night.
Right.
Yeah,
we strive for like an old studio show right now. Like old like NWA format stuff back in the day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the one thing I love about that, how that's shot there, because it has that feeling there, and I can't say it enough, man, because I'm just sitting there and I really sat down and started watching it from the beginning, and I said, I'm going to sit down and watch this from the beginning, and I watched all 24 episodes there, and I know last week or a couple weeks ago when I had Harley Fairfax on, she's like, how far are you? And I was like, I'm only up here.
Yeah.
Like, you haven't watched it all yet? And I'm like, I'm still watching it.
Right. Frame it all at once.
Yeah, I'm fighting over the TV with my daughter. She wants to watch Frozen. I'm like, no, we're going to watch FGW. No.
Yeah.
But she did. I was watching matches right before the night before I'm having with guests, because I spend that day watching matches. So she comes in and she's wanting to watch Frozen. I'm like, honey, no, no, sweetie, we're watching FGW. And I was watching, I think that night I was going to talk with Shauna, and she stops and she's watching and everything. And she was, I was watching the Shauna Reed versus Logan Blackheart for the Super Zeta, and she was sitting there watching it. Her eyes were glued to it. And then after the match, I was going to flip it off. She made me keep it on because she's like, pick this match, Daddy. I was like, okay, I turned it on. Yes. So we're sitting there. She jumped up on my lap. We're sitting there watching wrestling together. I'm like, this is great.
That's how it happens, right? That's how you get hooked.
yeah. I love this, man. I definitely do. It's something special, man, that it don't happen rarely.
Right. Definitely.
Yeah. What is some of the craziest fan interactions you've ever had with being at shows, if you don't mind me asking?
No. One of the crazy ones I always say was up at a show, and I think it was Cleveland. It was a bar show late at night, and the show had I want to say Honky Tonk Man, and there was one other person on that, I forget, but I had been managing this girl wrestler anyways, and she was going against a girl named Lady Victoria. And Lady Victoria came over and she goes, hey, when I'm hanging over the rope, come up and slap my butt. And I said, are you sure? And she's like, yeah, no, it'd be great. And I'm like, okay. So she's hanging over. I go over and I slap her butt. And all of a sudden this lady come out of the crowd there and starts attacking me. And I had to grab her wrist before security grabbed her. She was just livid at it. So that was one of the crazy ones there. And when you get it still kind of is, when you go down south, the more south you go, the more you can kind of get, with the my stick would be like, I'm not above hitting a woman or something like that down in Tennessee. And boy, they would just go crazy. Come over that line. This lady's charging me. Had a little rope barricade, that fell down, and had to get security on her to get back, So it's crazy, definitely. The different areas you go to, you'll see different things that trigger people, and so definitely a trigger on that, boy. And she was up my face and ready for it.
Oh, man.
Yeah, they can get wild. Definitely down south, they can get wild on you.
I can imagine. I can imagine there. You know you're doing something right when you get them riled up and then want to come after that over that barricade at you.
Oh God, that's one of the best feelings ever when you're a heel. You know, that's when you're like, yeah, I got him. You know, perfect. You got to watch yourself, but like, yeah, perfect. You know.
Oh yeah, yeah. I noticed going back watching footage of yourself there. You pretty much a lot of the footage I've seen was you a heel, but then winning the championship, becoming the face, and the FGW championship. You held that title for a long time, man. How many days did you hold the FGW World Heavyweight title there?
I think it was around like 160, something like that. It was a good, I want to say 4 or 5 months. Before I ended up in February, I lost it. So I think I won it in September, and then late September, and then I lost it at Origins 2 there against Sean Casey. So I had it for a little while there.
Yeah. I haven't got to see Cold Blooded or Origins 2, but eventually I am gonna have that sometime in my hands here. And
oh, definitely, man, definitely. 2 great shows, really was. Definitely Origins 2 was absolutely amazing that night.
Yeah, Origins 2, I really want to see that is because of the matches there. I mean, you had your match with Sean Casey there for the FGW World Heavyweight title, and then there is heavy metal hooks and that 6-man tag and that hardcore match, man.
Yeah. I think they had TLC or something like that. They had, or like, oof. It was crazy though. It was absolutely crazy. Them guys crazy.
I heard they almost killed. It looked like a train wreck out there, man. During
match. It was great. We were back there like, oh my God, peeking through the curtain like, oh, had to watch that one. That one was crazy.
Oh man, I can imagine. But yeah, I definitely want to check out Origins 2 because of the matches that was on there, because it was pretty damn good. Because I hit up my friend Robin Nelson. I'm like, I need these DVDs, man.
Yeah, right. Oh yeah.
I need them, because especially Origins 2, because I want to see that there, and then that just everything you went through up until that point with Sean Casey for the
yeah,
and then even afterwards.
Afterwards, yeah. Pretty much till we had to halt due to this, pandemic here, and I was still going after him. So, and it's still not over. So, definitely.
Yeah, you're still gonna chase that title, and and I think you're gonna get it back. You're gonna definitely get it back, and it's gonna be interesting to see how that picks back up when FGW, when the talent comes back, and with performing in front of a live audience and the fans come back, man. I know the fans can't wait. You know?
Oh yeah, definitely. We got a great fan following at FGW, a lot of loyal people there. So, and definitely they're definitely waiting for it, and we definitely are as well. So it's going to be definitely setting on fire as soon as we get back.
I know. I can only imagine there. Got a activity in the chat here. David says hello, Everett Lee, and your guest Mitch Magnus. So hello, David, for tuning in. Hello for tuning in tonight. Yeah, I can't wait for FGW to come back, and I know all the talent's waiting to get back in the ring there, and it's good that you've been pretty much staying busy with yourself here during this pandemic, and doing the classes, staying sharp mentally, because you can't be in the ring physically. That's fantastic, and just I'm excited to see what happens with Mitch Magnus next, man, because I know going after that title, getting that title back for Sean Casey there, and
yeah, and I need to get it off Sean Casey too, just to write some things. So definitely. Yeah.
The 5 most wanted, they're pretty good. I mean, you're pretty much outnumbered, but you've had help in the past dealing with with the 5 Most Wanted. So we'll definitely have to see what happens, man. We'll definitely.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. Like I said, it's gonna be great getting back, and just everybody's gonna be itching. So it's gonna be, like I said, we're gonna be setting the world on fire when we get back, for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love how, with all the footage and everything that's been put out in the best of series, because just Michael Neer, I think this is
Neary,
yeah, Michael Neary. I'm gonna have him on sometime next week. We're gonna do a recorded episode, and it's gonna be released later in the week. And I know this Friday night I'm gonna have at 9:00 here on the Everett Lee Show Facebook page here. I'm going to have Justin Dream on from FGW.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Justin, he just started up with us, and he's a good talent, so it's definitely interesting to see where he's going to go.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to see what he definitely brings, and that's pretty much who I'm going to have here at the end of this week and next week on the Everett Lee Show.
Neary is an excellent guy. I cannot have higher praise for him. Great person, but he is like the man when it comes to our production. He is absolutely insanely good with stuff that you can just say, hey man, I was thinking about this, and all of a sudden, an hour later you got a video, what do you think of this? Like, yeah, it's perfect, man. It's perfect. He's awesome. He's like the FGW wizard behind the scenes. He's a great guy.
It is. That is amazing, because I like how you have a shot of you got the hard cam, and then when the move's happening, and then it cuts right over to the guy out by the side of the ring there, capturing all
right.
the. Yeah, I love that. I love how it's pieced together, because like I mentioned earlier, you would think when you first watching it for like the first time, it's like, wow, how, man, they've been around for a while now, only a year, but they've got
only a year, and like I said, we're definitely expanding out. The owner, Brian Levick, he is like excellent dude, and is just couldn't be more hands-on to try and make things bigger, better, always with the ideals, and so we've got some things cooking right now, coming up here in a few weeks. We got some new things coming out or whatever, so definitely keep track, and everybody out there, definitely keep track the FGW board and the page and everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. FGW Shockwave every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. on their YouTube channel, Future Great Wrestling. They're always putting great content out every time on 7 p.m. at Wednesday. So if viewers, listeners, if you're not subscribed, please go to that channel right now on YouTube and subscribe, because you will not be disappointed. And
hopefully not.
You won't be disappointed, and then you will not really be disappointed when Mitch Magnus gets the FGW World Championship back.
Definitely right.
Yes. Subscribe, tune in, and watch that, because he's on the hunt. When things come back, he's going after that title.
And I'm on the hunt for Sean Casey, 5 Most Wanted, all of them. Big John, definitely. He's been on my side for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be great. But I want to thank you for coming on here tonight, man, and talking with me, man. This has been great, talking about you starting out in wrestling and going through the promotions and FGW, and talking about the 2 matches that I pulled up. I loved it, man. I definitely love it.
Oh, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate you having me on, and maybe we could do it again sometime, talk a little more or whatever.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And those that can keep up with you and see what's going on with you on social media, where can people find you at on social media?
On Facebook at Mitch Magnus, that's my Facebook there, and then on Instagram under Suplex Mitch Magnus. You can follow me under those 2 mainly for merchandise and things that are coming up, and like I said, the different shows we're going to have with FGW coming up and all that. So for sure, those 2.
Nice. Got another response on the chat here. Ricky Glam says, baby Baby.
Baby. That's my guy, Ricky Glam. I love him.
Yeah.
He's a great guy.
Yeah, he's great, man. He's great. Shout out to Ricky Glam, man.
Yeah, you want somebody on now. That guy's a character right there. Now,
oh, I've enjoyed him. I've enjoyed the stuff him and Big Booty Brad's been doing, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And especially that's one reason why I want to get to Origins 2, Mitch, because of the with the match they teamed up with Hooks.
Oh yeah, man, definitely. Something real special at the end happens with Big Booty Brad and everything after. So it was emotional night. It was good.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to check that out. And
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. And before we wrap things up here, as I mentioned, I said next week I'm going to be talking with Michael Neary. And that episode is going to be released sometime during the week. And I'm going to have this Friday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific on this page here, the Everett Lee Show page. I'm going to have Justin Dream. I can't read my writing sometimes. I'm looking away. I should pull it closer.
Yes, sir.
But just want to drop that out there. And I'm going to mention that you can follow more shows such as the Everett Lee Show on podcastcity.net, your top source for independent podcasting. However, podcastcity.net for Everett Lee Show and much, much more content. Hit them up on Facebook, Podcast City Network, and send them a tweet at Podcast City Net. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Podcast City Network, and Twitch, Podcast City Network. Everett Lee Show right here on Facebook. Give me a thumbs up and a like and a follow. Follow me on Twitter at the Everett_Lee, Instagram, Everett Lee Show, and the audio portions of this podcast and previous release podcast. Head over to Everett Lee Show YouTube, Stitcher Radio, iTunes, and Podbean. And that's pretty much it, ladies and gentlemen. And I want to thank Mitch Magnus for coming on here tonight. And that is it for the Everett Lee Show. We'll see you again next week for another episode of the Everett Lee Show.